What is up, all? Unsane Wreck. This album came out in 2012 on Alternative Tentacles Records. Unsane are a three-piece from New York City, and they play metallic noise rock. And this is Unsane's 20th anniversary. And when listening to Unsane records, I am always flooded with visions of a decaying world, like a post-apocalyptic world where everyone's fending for themselves, living in abandoned warehouses, and half of everything is just demolished. And I think it's just a great metaphor for frustration or being wronged or all the ills of man. Starting with Dave Curran's bass work, which is equal parts very loud, crusty, distorted, and it wraps its sound around every element within Unsane Sound. And then add Chris Spencer's guitar work, which is equal parts bluesy, rock and roll, and metallic, and his vocals that are equal parts honest, abrasively demanding, and so full of rage that they're just teetering on insanity. And then backed by drummer Vinny Signorelli, who was once in Swans, but he has been a member of Unsane since 1994. And he inputs all these extremely interesting fills, and just his choice of how to utilize his kit really enhances Unsane Sound. And just the hail of noise and feedback that Unsane creates is so inspiring, especially because they can whittle these just very interesting songs from this noise. And starting with the opening track, Rat, which adds violin into the mix and makes a even more macabre sound out of something that's already very, very dark, while the bass just heavily drapes its distorted sound over this entire track, that you can just hear it decaying before your ears. And my favorite track on this record is No Chance, which has a very drony, very bluesy style of guitar riffs being played. Even has some hardcore elements to it. And to make things even more abrasive, there is use of harmonica played very wildly throughout this track. And it just makes me grit my teeth for how perfect it sounds. It's so very backwoods, like I want to fuck you up type images it gives me, and I just love this track. It makes me feel so much. The one track on this record that really caught me off guard is the track Stuck. And this track is also very bluesy, but it's Unsane stripped down. For the most part, this track is just drums and bass and clean vocals, which is something that I haven't heard to this degree on any Unsane record until now. And it's a very honest song. It's a song about pill addiction, from what I gather, and rise into these short, somewhat higher fits of vocals, and then dive back into this very minimalist sound. And it sounds very, very poetic. And I love that about this track. I haven't heard anything like this from Unsane to this degree, and it's just beautiful. Another track I'm really digging on here is the track Don't, which is probably the most droned out track on this record, combined with that heavy, heavy bass. And the closing track is a cover song from the band Flipper, and they cover Flipper's Ha Ha Ha. It sounds absolutely amazing within the Unsane Sound. And, give Unsane any track to cover, and it will sound very unlike the original. And this track just sounds absolutely menacing, and I fucking love it. I just love it so much. I mean, old roommate of mine used to have this comp called Old School Punk, and it would have tracks by the Exploited, Dead Kennedys, Flipper, The Germs, and we'd play that album all the time. But this was one of those tracks that every time you heard it, it just stood out so much. And you'd only have to hear it once, and you would never forget it. And the fact that Unsane covered it and it just sounds this good, I'm just so fucking pleased with this record. In my opinion, this record is perfecto. It's fucking perfect. And I highly recommend peeping this record out. Check out the description box below. We'll have links to tracks from this album so you can peep them out yourself and form your own opinion about them. And with the Ha 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 track by Flipper, I'm going to put the original down there as well as the Unsane version so you guys can compare the two. But definitely peep this out. It's Unsane Wreck. And it came out in 2012 on Alternative Tentacles Records. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time.